live. I see the little button going up in the corner. And I am here tonight with you all in my pajamas because I have something that is on my heart that I feel inspired and called to talk about because I talk to new coaches and people who are start aspiring coaches, people who want to launch their coaching business all day, right? Because that's what I do. I help new coaches launch their business and hit 5K months. So I am constantly talking to new coaches, right? And I'm talking to people who want to start a coaching business. And I hear the same thing all the time. And I already know this because I've been through it too. Um, but there's this like buzzword, right? There's a buzzword in the coaching community. Let me get comfortable because I'm probably going to go on a rant and I'm going to be here for a minute. But um, there's a buzzword in the coaching community, and that buzzword is launch, right? So everybody's like, "Ooh, I gotta launch, I gotta launch, I gotta launch," and this term was introduced to me when I first started my business. And it was something that I was like, oh, yeah, I got to launch. Like, I got to launch something. I got to launch my program. I don't really know what the fuck that means, but I got to launch, right? So if you're hearing this word a lot, drop a little crazy hand. And I'm going to quickly introduce myself because I'm not sure who's tuning in and if you guys know me or not, but I just want to introduce myself. You're in my group. I want to get to know you guys. I want to make this a really active community with lots of value for all of you. So, if you don't know who I am yet, or if you haven't caught any of the trainings in the group, my name is Catherine Townsend, and I am a trauma informed mindset and business coach, which means I help you overcome old programming so you can build and sustain a successful business that generates 5K months consistently and way more than 5K if you enter into my programs and you learn all the fundamentals and the basics and all of the yummy, yummy stuff. You can go far beyond 5K. But my intention in this group is to give you guys the tools that you need to get started, to start building some momentum and start working with some clients. So if you're watching, say hello, introduce yourself, let me know who you are, allow yourself to be seen. I want to talk to you. I want to answer your guys' questions or you ladies' questions. Sorry, I'm from Florida, so we say you guys all the time. But I want to answer your questions and I want to share with you some valuable tips, some valuable information that I gained from my first launch that failed big time. So, when I first started my coaching business, I scrambled for a bit. First of all, it took me a year. It took me a year to actually get the cojones to start my business. I had to go through what I had to go through. I was in my master's program. I was interning at a mental health facility. I was doing all of their assessments there, and I was also working as a group therapist and IOP therapist at a substance abuse treatment facility. So I felt called to be a coach, but it was like this overwhelming burnout that was occurring at that time from everything that I was doing. Because not only did I work in the mental health field as a therapist, but I also had a side hustle selling jewelry on Etsy. So that was my first online business that I had. I learned lots about marketing and sales there. And I've also learned a lot about the human brain and psychology and what motivates people to change, what motivates people to potentially buy from us, and what motivates people to do what they do. So, and I have lots of extensive history in creating curriculums for these programs as well. So, that's a little bit about who I am, and that's where the trauma informed part comes into play because I'm a big advocate for trauma recovery. And hi, Megan, hi. And it's something that I see come up a lot and isn't talked about in business, especially for female entrepreneurs in general, but I mostly work with females. So female entrepreneurs and healers, like we usually have a past, and that's what drove us to want to do the work that we're doing and that stuff, that programming can get activated as you're starting a business. And that's honestly why I'm talking about what I'm talking about tonight. because these launches, these ideas of like launching programs and launching businesses before you have actually learned what it really takes to be successful in the online space and how to get clients, and you haven't built the resiliency as an entrepreneur yet, like this can be devastating. This can be damaging for someone. So let me tell you guys a little bit about what happened with me, right? So it took me a year to start my online coaching business. And when I finally did, I had big dreams. If you have big dreams and you're watching right now and you want to hit like 10K, 100, six-figure years, talk to me. Drop it in the comments. Drop 100K in the comments if that's something that you want for your coaching business. I know that's what I wanted because I knew that that money would give me the freedom that I needed to design my life in a way that felt good for me and also make a really big impact because I want to help as many women as possible live in their purpose and make a difference in this world. And that's been my mission since day one. And I've really found that in the space that I'm in now and being able to fulfill that mission. But if you're somebody who feels really driven and has that big vision for 5K, 10K, six-figure years, tell me. I want to see it in the comments below. Claim it, own it, because you deserve that. Okay. Now, I had that big vision when I started, and I quit my job. I quit my job because I had to, because I was basically burnt out and I couldn't do it any longer. And I also had this calling to be a coach, and I had sat in that space for a year of knowing that I wanted to do this and not taking any action. And when you know that you want to do something, when you feel called to do something and you don't take action to do it, it creates a shit ton of anxiety. You feel very misaligned, to say the least. It creates conflict. Hi, Chloe. I see you, girl. It creates conflict, but that conflict is good because a system, your belief system, your inner system, needs conflict in order to change. All systems need conflict in order to change. So if you're sitting in a space right now and you're at a job that you freaking hate, and maybe you don't hate it, but maybe you just can't do it anymore. Maybe it's just too much. It's too stressful. It's like I got to get out of here. Or maybe you're sitting in a space where you've already left your job and you are trying to start this coaching business, but you have no idea what to do, and you're feeling really conflicted, and you're feeling really misaligned, and you're feeling a lot of that anxiety. That's the universe, guys. That's the universe. That's your inner consciousness, your higher self saying, hey, time to shift. That is direction, that it is time to move in a different space. It's time to up level. And sometimes up leveling looks like asking for help or leaving a job or doing something different, because whatever's happening in your moment right now isn't working. And that's where I was at, is what I was doing wasn't working. I had left this job, and for 6 months I tried to start my coaching business, using freebies off the internet, using webinars, using my own genius, right? My marketing skills from doing mental health marketing, which is super easy because if somebody's addicted to drugs and like they ask for help, that's a pretty easy sale right there. Like people know what they're looking for. So that's way different than starting an online coaching business. Far different, right? Like some of the principles are there, but I had no idea what the F I was doing, basically. And I sat in that space for like 6 months, and I knew that something had to give. And that was when I hired my first coach. And there was this buzzword, like I talked about in the beginning, this buzzword of launching. We got to launch. You have to launch programs. You got to do this. You got to launch courses, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do that, and funnels. And I'm like, okay, like teach me the way, right? Teach me the way. I want to learn. I want to be like the person that is making $500,000 a year who's been on social media with their business for 5, 6, 7 years and also started that business in a different generation. Right? Like a lot of these people who are preaching these marketing concepts, they started their businesses in like 2011 and 2012, and the Facebook was a different world back then. And so I entered into a program that taught these more advanced selling strategies from a different space, from a space that I wasn't in. But they sold me on the call, and it was a very valuable program. And I entered into it, and I took 90 days. They walked me through a process that took 90 days. of all of this shit, like really advanced shit. And the thing that this is coming up for me because I just popped out of my one-on-one coaching program, and I was teaching them how to create like landing pages and starting to enter the idea of email marketing into there. And I'm going to start teaching that in a mastermind I'm starting in January. But this is not what you need to be doing right now as a new coach. Please hear me. If you are like, I got to do email marketing and I got to make funnels and I got to do all this shit, like if you are getting fed that from some free place online or whatever, or maybe you've already done a course that taught you that and you were unsuccessful and you went through a failed launch like I went, then this is an impromptu, guys, so I forgot to turn my phone off. So this is where I was at, and I see you and I feel you, and it doesn't have to be this hard and it doesn't have to be that complicated. So I sat for 90 days going through a whole checklist, this 5-page checklist of creating emails and creating landing pages and doing Facebook ads. I was paying for Facebook ads. I had no money and I was paying for Facebook ads because that's what I was told to do. And Facebook ads, like if you want to go throw money down the toilet, please make a Facebook ad because they even my coach right now who I have who is amazing, she says the same thing. Like Facebook ads are not the place. So please, like if you're investing in Facebook ads, take a step back. There are ways to generate organic leads in your business that are very authentic and heart-centered and easy to do, that will help you be far more successful than a Facebook ad set and target audience right now in your journey, because you're a new coach or you're just starting out. You're probably, I know for a fact, you're under 5K, you're under 10K months if you're in this group and you're watching this right now. So you do not need to do that. But that's what I went through. So learn from me. I went through that, and the first 90 days of me trying to build out and launch my program, I learned all these skills and I put them into place. And after 90 days, and I'm a manifester, right? I'm all law of attraction all day, every day. So this whole time I'm like trying to hold the belief. I'm like, I'm gonna launch this program and I'm gonna get $10,000. I'm gonna launch this program and I'm gonna sign up 10 clients and I'm gonna get $10,000, which is totally possible. But I did not, but you have to have behind the belief, there has to be action. There has to be a strategy. There has to be like real clear cut instructions that will help you get there. I got the advanced side of it. I didn't learn the fundamentals of marketing and sales and mindset. Marketing, sales, and mindset, and what I was going into, and having the emotional and mental support of what was going to happen when I start putting myself out there and getting visible, on top of knowing how to authentically market and sell my program and actually build real connections with people. I had this idea that I was just going to finish this checklist and websites and landing pages and email sequences with a list that had like 50 people on it, and all of a sudden have, a $10,000 launch. That was not the case, guys. That was not the case. After 90 days of spending time on shit that was not bringing money into my business, I launched my program. And the launch was supposed to be 14 days. You're supposed to have cart open for 14 days. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited, right? Like day one, I'm so excited, guys. Here's my program. I followed the script of what I was supposed to say and all of this. I'm like, yay, it's here. And I'm like waiting for the flood of DMs to come in. And it was crickets. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening right now? Okay, so, right, I got to hold the belief. I got to hold the belief because it's coming. And it was coming, but I wasn't taking the actions to accelerate that process because I didn't fucking know. So I sat there for 14, like 7 days passed, nothing. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Right? I'm freaking out. And then 14 days. And then I'm like, okay, I got to extend it. So I extended it to 21 days. Nothing. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to make it out of this. And this is where the trauma informed approach comes in. Because when we are healers and coaches who have a history of adversity and trauma and we go through experience like that, it can be very triggering because I had everything into that. I poured my heart and soul into it, guys. Like I spent hours and hours on these landing pages and these email sequences and creating this program and focusing on all the stuff that wasn't actually going to bring me clients, but I poured my heart and soul into. And then I got visible and I put myself out there and I got vulnerable and no one responded. And I perceived rejection in my mind. And it hurt. It hurt because I started questioning, maybe I should just quit. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm crazy for even thinking that I should try to do this. People don't like me, right? And the old narrative comes up, the old childhood bullshit comes up, like I'm not lovable, right? And like, yeah, it seems like that might be extreme, but that's the stuff. Like that's the dialogue that comes up, and it's very subtle and it's very quiet, and we can't hear it. Because it's like white noise. We're so used to it because it's been playing inside of our mind for so long. But it's like you put a post up and then nobody likes or comments on it. And you're like, oh, you suck, see? Or see, you're nobody likes you. Or see, you have nothing of value to add. You have nothing to say. And it's just like very subtle jabs, like these passive aggressive things that we say to ourselves, or just aggressive and mean or bullying things that we say. And that's what I mean when I talk about my trauma informed business coaching is I help you work through some of that stuff that can pop up in the beginning, because sometimes it can feel like you're talking to no one. Sometimes you can perceive some rejection. Sometimes you can feel very, very excruciatingly vulnerable, and shame can come in and fear can come in. And that's what was going on for me after 21 days of launching and not having any clients, because launches can be stressful, launches can be activating. And so I got to the end of that and I didn't have anything and I was freaking out. And I didn't know like what next step to take, except for kind of just like cry. Except for just kind of cry and be like, well, shit, I don't know what to do, right? But I'm not one to sit in my stuff very long, because I've done a lot of work on that, and I know that like when I don't know what to do, the best thing to do is to ask for help, because if I had the answer, I would have solved the problem already. So I decided to find a coach. Actually, they found me. I was like online, and obviously it was apparent that I was doing something wrong in my marketing. And a coach reached out to me, and he told me about what he did, and he offered me his services. And I got on the phone with him, and it seemed like a good fit. I liked the vibe; it made sense for me. And I saw that he was getting results for other people, and I asked my family for help, and I paid $3,500 to get one-on-one coaching instead of some self-paced course online that I had no real help with. And I got the one-on-one coaching that I needed. And within 45 days, I had my 10K, because I manifested that shit. I manifested that shit, but then I had the second part of it, which was the support and the guidance that I needed. And I was taught authentic marketing and sales skills. I was taught the fundamentals that I needed to be a successful coach and run a successful business online. Because here's the thing, I'm a kick ass coach. I know I'm a kick ass coach. You know what else I know? I know that you're a kick ass coach. I know for sure, without a doubt, you are a bomb ass coach. If you're a kick ass coach and you know you're a kick ass coach, drop a heart right now, or drop no, better yet, drop a muscle arm. Drop a muscle arm in the comments right now if you are a badass coach. If you know that you are a kick ass coach, and I know you guys are watching, so drop those muscles in there, because you are. You are a kick-ass coach. But here's the other thing I know. You're not so great of a marketer and a salesperson. Maybe you are, but for the most part, new coaches, healers, we are not the best marketing and salespeople. That's right, Chloe. You are a kick-ass coach, girl. So are you, Jerica. Yes, queens. I see y'all. I see y'all. You guys are kick-ass coaches, but we haven't mastered marketing and sales yet. Oh, Pam. Hey, Pam. Hey, girl. Yes, I love y'all. I'm so happy you're here. You guys are kick-ass coaches, but we are not like we haven't mastered, and it's a skill. If you want to run a business, you have to master marketing and sales. Like that's just what it is, guys. Sorry. If you want to be online and you want to be a successful coach and you want to have 5K, 10K months, you want to be a six-figure earner, you want to have that freedom biz, and you want to make that impact, you're going to have to learn how to master marketing and sales. But here's the thing is it doesn't have to feel sleazy and gross. And I know that there's a lot of limited beliefs around sales and marketing, and there's been a lot of stigma in that because of some of the things that we've been fed through media and movies and some of the shitty things that people have done with marketing and sales, right? But it's not a bad thing. Sales is a belief. When you can sell someone, you're helping them believe in themselves. You're helping them believe in possibility. You're helping them believe in change. Marketing is simply just showing up authentically and telling people who you are and aligning your energy to the soulmate clients that you desire to have, because that energy comes through when you know how to show up authentically and you know like the formula for how to speak to people and how to get their attention. Then you can show up and you can really shine. You can shine, babe. You can shine, but you just got to know how to get people's attention so they actually see you and hear you, and you have to know who you're talking to. So when I went through my failed launch, nobody taught me those things. They just said, make these pretty websites, make these pretty Facebook ads, post every single day, write something like this, write something like that, follow what this person is doing. But no one told me exactly how to market and sell. Like, okay, what happens? How do I get people connected to me? How do I start conversations with people? How do I take somebody through a DM conversation and get them to get on the phone with me so then I can have a sales conversation? And then what do I say on the sales conversation? If any of you feel like that right now, if any of you feel like, holy shit, how do I get somebody on the phone? And then what do I say when I actually have them on the phone? Raise your hand. Raise your hand in the comments right now if that's you. If you're like, oh my God, like I know how to post content. I'm not scared about showing up, or maybe I'm a little bit scared about showing up, but I have no idea what to say to like get somebody on the phone and then walk them through a sales process. Drop a hand in the comments below. Drop a hand in the comments below. Yeah, I see you, Pam. I see you. I didn't know either. I had no idea. And it was devastating for me because I wanted to be a coach so bad. Like I really wanted, yes, Jerica, yes. And this is what I'm talking about, y'all. This is what I'm talking about. Is that we're new coaches, aspiring coaches. Like when I was a new coach, I didn't know this stuff either. I had to get taught. It's a muscle that I had to build. I had to build my muscle for sales and marketing. It's a skill set. And in order to be a successful business owner, you need to enhance that skill. And here's the other thing is like you can try, like that information is available online. There's tons of books. But if you don't have the support and the accountability to actually implement or put it into action, like reading is great. That's awesome. I could watch a YouTube video all day long. I could give you all of the answers right here on this training. But if you don't have somebody to keep you accountable and provide you the support when the experience really happens, you're going to get stuck. You will. I've seen it happen hundreds of times. It happened to me. And it's so crucial to have that one-on-one support. It's so crucial to have that guidance, to have that mindset support, to have somebody walking you through that process and teaches you. Here's the other part of it, who teaches you how to do it in a way that feels good for you, that feels aligned for you, that allows that holds space for you to figure out how to make it work for you, that holds space for you while you learn how to use your intuition in that process so it becomes natural and heart centered. And it doesn't feel like I'm reading from this script right now. Would you like to buy my program for $1,500? Like, no, no, there's a better way to have that conversation that feels good. And I've taken, and that's how it was for me in the beginning. I felt like I was just reading off of the script. And I was given a script. But what I've learned from working with multiple coaches and being in masterminds and working with two coaches now who are, you know, 6, 7 figure earners, I've learned how to create my own and use the tools that work to create something that feels really good and aligned for me. And then I teach my girls how I do it and then allow them space to figure out how to make it work for them. And that is really the key, because when you can learn, when you can start to learn to trust yourself through this process, and that's that trauma informed stuff, right? Because maybe we don't trust ourselves that much, or maybe we have some limiting beliefs, or maybe we have some emotional blocks, right? But when we can learn how to integrate ourself into the marketing and sales process, we learn how to trust ourselves to get results for not only our business but for our clients. And then we can start to grow and expand and become these six-figure earners that we desire to be. And so if that's what you desire to be, if you desire to be able to own a business that's heart-centered and is aligned with you, where you're making six figures, drop a heart in the emojis right now. If that's you and you want to have that and you want to create that for yourself, drop that in the hearts right. Drop a heart in the comments right now. If you want to be a six-figure earner and do it from a heart-centered space where you can make income and impact, drop a heart in the emojis or drop a heart in the comments right now. And that's what this is about, guys. And this is why I share this with you, is because you don't need a launch. You don't need to do all this complicated bullshit. You don't need to. I'm out of water. Oh no, that's terrible. Hey Pam, hey Chloe, I see you guys dropping your hearts. Yes, me too. Me too. And I've done it. And I've done it. And that's the really beautiful thing. By the end of this year, I will have hit my six figures. I know it. I'm calling it in. I'm just a few $1,000s away. And I started this business about 19 months ago. It's funny because my launch email, my launch email and the video I did. I see you, Megan. Yes, girl, it's possible for you. My launch video that I did for when I launched my program and it failed miserably, that popped up like the other day because it was right around, I remember it was right around Thanksgiving too, because I did like a gratitude. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. My messaging was so off. My messaging was all over the place. My messaging was all over the place. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It's laughable now, but at the time it was devastating. At the time it was devastating. Don't get it twisted. Like at the time I was very sad. Now I can laugh at it because I can see very clearly where the problems were. But this is the problem. I had nobody looking at what I was doing to provide me with the instruction and the guidance of like what I was doing wrong. I mean, think about it. Like when you go to school, if any of you have been to college, like when I was in college, like professors read my stuff or I had person to ask questions to, like if I didn't understand something. You know, you don't get that when you're looking at freebies and watching YouTube videos or even doing a training like this. You know, like you might feel inspired and you might get some actionable tips, but what happens when you go to put it into application and you don't know if you're doing it right? What if you're doing it all wrong, but you just assume that you're doing it right because you don't have anybody telling you that you're doing it wrong? Ever done that before? Ever worked on something for a really long time? You're like, this is great. And then someone looked at it and be like, you have some work to do. That's not that great. You know, like, and that's kind of what happens because in the beginning, hear this loud and clear. In the beginning, you're gonna suck. Give yourself space to suck. And I love you. I love you all because I am you. But like in the beginning, you're going to suck a little bit. And that's okay. You're supposed to suck in the beginning. Like I didn't just hop on a bike and know how to ride it. I crashed into my dad's car in the driveway and like knocked myself out the first time I tried to ride without training wheels, you know? And hey, that's a really good metaphor for what happened with my first launch. But yeah, like so you're gonna suck a little bit in the beginning, and that's okay. Give yourself that permission and that space to suck a little bit so that you can be humble and open to learning and getting better. So the lessons from my first launch, let me recap. So that's the title of my impromptu live right now, is the lessons that I've learned from my first failed launch were you don't need advanced selling strategies. You don't need a website and you do what you do, and you can't do it without direction. What I do know that you need is you need mindset and emotional support to walk through this. You need authentic marketing and sales techniques. and you need the support and accountability to implement them. I have not done a Facebook ad. Please don't. Please don't, Megan. You don't need to. Don't do a Facebook ad. You're not there yet. What we need to learn is how to market and sell our programs. And we need the guidance to walk us through that. And we need people who are aligned with us and our needs to teach us that. And I know I have Chloe watching here. Chloe is one of my clients, and Chloe and I have figured out how to market and sell her program. And she's doing great. She was just on a client call and missed the training in the other group because she has clients now. So her schedule has booked up, right? And like now we have to make space for our clients, which is a beautiful thing because the more money I make, the more impact I make, the more fun I have, the more money I make. Like all of these things happen. The more I'm helping, the more fun and excited I feel, the more contagious it becomes for the people who are watching. And it builds our belief when we can have paying clients. It builds the belief in our coaching, and therefore we get more confident. So when you say things like, I'm going to wait till I get clients till I invest in my program or till I invest in a coach, you have it flip flopped. You need to pay for coaching or pay for guidance or mentorship or whatever it is so that you can get clients. And then you will get a return on your investment because that's the first investment that you have to make. You can't just expect for clients to fall out of the woodwork. You might get lucky. You might, and some of them might come, but it won't be consistent and it won't be sustainable because we haven't mastered the fundamentals of mindset, marketing, and sales. And we need that emotional support too. That I know for sure. So if you're watching this, I'd love to hear if you got something from it. So share that in the comments. I am currently offering business audits through December. I think I have 5 or 6 left. So if you would like a free business audit, we can hop on and talk about that and see exactly what shifts you need to make to get to 5K, what's missing, and what strategies you need to implement. And if you're interested in that, you can drop call in the comments and you'll get immediate results from that call. I'll give you actionable steps to take, and then you can be on the path to signing some clients and hitting 5K. So if you're interested in getting a business audit call, you can drop that in the call. I also have my Coach Prep School, which is enrolling right now till the 29th, and I'm offering a bonus on that for the next till the end of the week. So what's today? Today is Wednesday, the 9th. So hold on, let me look at till the 13th, there's a bonus on the Coach Prep School enrollment where you can get a massive amount off of that if you're interested. But again, what I've learned from my failed launch is that you don't need a launch. You don't need advanced selling strategies. And you do not have to pay for Facebook ads or email marketing and stop wasting your time on websites. Okay. What you need is one on one support. You need authentic marketing and sales strategies. And you just need to learn how to put yourself out there in the right way. Right. So I'm so happy that you guys joined. Does anybody have any questions before I sign off? I'd love to answer some questions if anybody has any. I know there's a few of you watching still. And Pam, Jerica, you guys are awesome. Let me see if any questions are coming in. It doesn't look like it. Okay, so again, if you would like that business audit call, I have 6 left, so you can drop call in the comments if you'd like to book that with me. Or if you'd like more information about the Coach Prep School, you can write info in the comments and I'll be more than happy to reach out to you. Can you go into the call you just mentioned? So it's a business audit call, and we'll go over 3 things on that call. One is the first shift that you need to make in your business. So we're going to look at where you're at and where you want to be and what the gap is, the exact mindset obstacles that are probably holding you back from hitting 5K, and what strategies you need to implement in order to hit those 5K months. So we will go over all 3 of those things on the phone call. And with all 3 of those things, you're going to get immediate results. And this is a $125 value. It's about a 45-minute call with me. So if you're interested and you'd like to do that, I'd be more than happy. You can just drop call in the comment, and there is no obligation to that call. We can just simply chat. If it feels like a good fit for you, we can chat more. I see you, Megan. Yes, girl. Kick-ass coaches. All right, ladies. Again, drop call in the comment. If you want info about the Coach Prep School, you can drop info in the comments and I will give you the link for that. Megan, let's go, girl. Let's go. I'm going to help you. All right, Pam, I'm going to message you. All right, guys. You are again, guys. I'm from Florida. All right, ladies. You are amazing. Thank you for hanging with me in my pajamas and hearing about my failed launch. And I will talk to you all very soon. All right. Bye.